Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and so far the Arcana Spotlight series is going just fine. Haven't lost a run on it yet, and we've got the chance to discuss a good few of these. So I think now we are going to discuss homing flares. So, yeah, homing flares. Homing flares. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about homing flares, unfortunately. This is one of those spells that I use occasionally when I'm feeling just kind of, for all intents and purposes, a little nutty. But is it one of those spells that I can come to rely upon? Not really. Like I kind of look at homing flares the same way I look at, like, you know, just as an example, like Stone Seekers. It's like, yeah, it's there, cool, but at least it doesn't count as a summon, so I still build up signature charge with it. And with my current setup, I score 9 per homing flare, so hey, that's something. Yeah, trust me when I say that this one doesn't do a lot for me. I'm not a big fan of homing flares. And I know that's going to be a little disappointing for some of you, because I know some of you really like homing flares, and it's this kind of like seeking orbital that you put your trust in. And I get that. I definitely get that there's a use case for it, and there's definitely a reason to use it. But it's just not for me. So we're going to be using Thundering Chain to go alongside it. I'm going to use Wave Front because we could always use a little bit of shielding. Then Air Spinner because we're going to need that 360 degree coverage. And yeah, that's about it. So to give you an idea, homing flares counts as a projectile. So realistically, we're going to want to deal with Atlas first because stupid Earth Knights. Oh, and while we're here, let's check the soundtrack roll. Piano. Alright. Let's just go ahead and do that now. I am also recording this after a full day at work, so if I make really, really stupid mistakes, it's because I'm just kind of recovering from a long day of doing, boring labor. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a hard day at work, not by any stretch of the imagination. Hello, bird. What's up, buddy? Cecil just wanted to say hello. He's a good bird. Like, I can only say work was dull and boring so many times before it starts to sound like I'm just endlessly complaining. Again, not necessarily the case. I'm just telling you how it is. There we go. And I know I have a few new subscribers. First of all, welcome. I appreciate you guys for coming in and checking things out. Secondly, I've already gotten a question from one of them asking why I use Retro Floor Plan. So I am going to answer that question in a video so that you actually have like an archive and, my voice telling you what's up. So why do I use the Retro Floor Plan? 2 reasons. One, because it alters the shape of the floors and creates just a and creates a more challenging version of the floors. There you go. So that's what Homing Flares does as a signature cast, is it essentially resummons a bunch of flares after you throw them. It's like machine gun flares, if you will. There are things here that I like. We're going to take Tears of Midas. Then we're either going to want the Bowser Shell or the Wind Cloak later. So. Nope, you go away. So, I don't want to make it sound like I just have nothing positive to say about Homing Flares. It's just one of those things where I feel very unsure about it. Like, the signature cast is great. The spell in and of itself, kind of mild. Like, I'm happy that it at least pierces enemies, but... yeah, it's just one of those spells that I don't have a ton of love for it. No hate for it either, so it's just one of those things that occupies space in my brain. Trust me, I get that there's definitely a niche for spells that aim themselves. I just generally don't have that problem, so just kind of... I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a spell for me. Like, I look at the spell and I go, yeah, you're nice and all, but what am I getting out of this relationship? Okay, there's two things here that I like. And I think we're going with the Pewter Bracelet because this is the perfect time to see it show up. And fortunately, that spell doesn't count as a projectile. Alright, what do we have for sale? Well, I'm fine with this as an upgrade. Not the biggest fan of everything else that's available, though. Well, let me correct myself. Scales of Babylon, really good, but not exactly what I need for this build. Or maybe it is, but... yeah, it's not going to be effective against Zeal, and it's going to be average against the twins. Like, I kind of feel like I should take Earthquake Axe. Since we have a power setup, there is nothing that this is going to do that I will dislike. No, I don't want everything to cost more. Alright, let's hop back here. Let's grab the Bowser Shell. And I'll also grab the Evening Gloves. It just makes my air spinners that much more impressive. There we go. I mean, I'll pick it up, but what am I gonna do with that? I don't have anything that's ice-based. By the way, when were one of you going to remind me that I didn't finish talking about the retro floor plan? Were you just gonna wait and see if I forgot about it forever? That doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do, viewer. Well, Darksage, how do you want me to fix that problem? I don't know, but start by not making me embarrass myself. It's all your fault, and I don't know why, but it's all your fault. Alright, so retro floor plan. There are two reasons why I pick it up. One, because it does change the layout of the floors, makes them a bit more challenging, and I find it to be fun. The more pragmatic reason is because there's so many more enemies with the retro floor plan on. I end up getting a lot more cash from them. So it's more money to build a run with, and the additional challenge that I think is fun. That having been said, there are certain things that don't appear during the retro floor plan, like, at all. That kind of also alters my opinion of it a little bit. Namely, any of the rooms that have the beam cyclopses. There are none of those in retro floor plan. And let me tell you, I hate those beam cyclopses with a vengeance. You know, I don't even need to be subtle about it. Fuck those enemies. So that's another reason for me to take the retro floor plan. So I guess that's three. It's three reasons why I pick up the retro floor plan. But there are some rooms in the normal layouts that I do kind of miss, like the puzzle rooms where you have to like dash around appropriately to jump from like platform to platform. That is a bit of gameplay from the normal castle that I do kind of miss, and I wish they wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater in that respect and gave us rooms like that with the retro floor plan active. Darksage, you're weird. Who throws babies out with bathwater? You don't want me to answer that question because you probably wouldn't like the answer. But suffice it to say, people who don't like or want to have babies around. I mean, okay. Admittedly, it's not a bad spell, just wasn't really expecting that one. How do I feel about holding on to fire-based spells? Average. So what I'm really wanting is probably another earth-based spell after this. A water spell would help out for a little bit, but then the twins would resist that, so, you know. Alright, is there anything else here I really want? No. But I'm gonna grab that and just carry it with me in case I find a good reason to like sacrifice a relic. Which probably means you all already know what I'm looking for. with that in mind, let's just go ahead and grab this too. There's our hunk. There we go. I will say that if you're going to use homing flares, and pardon me while I shift in my chair a bit, but if you're going to use homing flares, you're probably going to want to do so with a critical hit-based build. Just because the thing that homing flares does do really well is it does a lot of hits. Well, don't you feel silly now? I chose to go with a more balanced build because I found, for some reason, I just was really in the mood to use Thundering Chain. So I figured I would go somewhere in between the two. Plus, the Hope Robe is just really strong. Like, after you unlock all the other robes, it gives you bonuses to max health, bonus to run speed, bonus to damage, bonus to critical chance, like... It doesn't focus on anything, but it just gives you a lot to work with. Really? Really, game? How many of these rooms with these spikes in the corners are they going to force me to go through? Like, seriously, you're getting ridiculous now, game. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade that. I think I'm also going to grab that for later use. Alright, I am going to debate whether or not I want to... Ow. Ooh, that was smart. Glad I did that. That's not going to backfire in any way. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the ballet over ignition drive, just because I know these enemies are resisting it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the Relic Rewards card. Grab the Cobalt Firestone. We're going to go see Cremire. We're going to sell him this. Okay, not quite enough. Let's also sell him this. Still not quite enough, but it's almost there. I want to make sure I leave this floor with the Destructive Abacus, just because it's really nice having abbreviated cooldowns. I guess we're buying it off our boss money. There we go. Now we can afford it. Alright, that was interesting. Very fast-paced, very fun. Really, game? You're giving me that again? Even though I don't want it? Alright, I might just take the Chaos Scanner just because it is a small damage bonus. There we go. Accidentally aggroed 2 groups of enemies at the same time, and it didn't even matter. Not with this build, anyway. And Destructive Abacus is helping me out here, but God, it's almost difficult to get used to. Because I can just cast spells and they'll be like almost immediately ready again. Tell you what, though, I am really liking Earthquake Axe. And yes, that one can be used as a signature, so we will be talking about it later on in this series, trust me. Blam! Nope, throw out an axe I didn't need to throw. Oh well. It still works. And yes, we are going to go ahead and donate this to Dr. Song. Because we can just go buy the upgraded version now. Not a big fan of this item, but oh well. Alright, cool. Alright, by the way, how are we looking with this? Plus 12.7. I like it. Alright. Coming up against Zeal and her speedy routine. And there we go. Not a bad fight at all. I mean, that would be much better used, like, before now. Just saying. Alright, now we can do that. Oh, I see a Curse Eater's mask that I want, and a fairy that I want to adopt. Alright, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. Adopt the fairy. Get rid of that. Put on the Curse Eater's mask. And we be a coon. It's also about all my money, so let's just keep moving. Oof. Thank you, Earthquake Axe. So, long as I... Oh, hey, there's the Mimic. Alright. Alright, so I think I wait until the end of this round, floor, and we'll wait and see if we get any more freebies to feed to it. Fortunately, Arcana don't exactly count towards that. And here's the boss room. I haven't finished exploring for more freebies yet, though, so let's do that. Hi, Iris. Pretty much have the Arcana setup that I want right now, though, so... Alright, we are having a lovely run here. I have no complaints. Alright, well, no more freebies. So let's go ahead and drop here what we intend to keep. We intend to keep that. Get rid of that. Keep that, keep that, keep that. Iffy, but I'll probably end up getting rid of it. Same with that. I want to keep that. Keep the fairy, and we keep that. Actually, no, I do want to get rid of that. Alright, so let's drop that, because I want to hold on to it. Yeah, everything else can go. Alright, beautiful. We are now very much a force to be reckoned with. Not that we weren't before, but now we're even more so. We're like a force of nature now. You mean you're an 8/8 creature with trample with a 4/4 upkeep? By the way, if any of you recognize what I'm saying there, give yourself a pat on the back. No thanks. Also, I am super fast right now. Look at that damage. And yes, we will go ahead and upgrade our robe. Alright, we'll grab that. Probably end up coming back for the jewelry box. Ah, and I'm like uncomfortably fast. Bonk. Yes. I can feel the power flowing through me. Hey, Darkseid, are you a Sith Lord? I choose not to reveal the answer to that question. All I will say is that there are some that view the dark side as a path to some abilities they would call unnatural. Oops. And yes, we'll go ahead and grab the jewelry box. Alright, and we're good to move on. here come the twins, who, if you've been watching my series, you probably understand that I view them to be the easiest boss in the game. And I'm not changing my mind on that. Still easiest boss in the game. Oops. Beautiful. Alright, no complaints here. You know, I'm good. Let's just move on. So, ultimately, homing flares. It's very much kind of a fire and forget sort of spell. Because it just... Ow. And that was a beautiful victory. So, after having played with it a bit, I'm still not sure that it's one of those things that just, you know, kind of pointlessly occupies a space in my brain. What I will say is that the piercing and homing effects on the spell do give it a bit more utility than I had originally given it credit for. And it being one of those things that lasts a little while after you cast it allows you to essentially set up the signature and then just walk into a room and let the spell do its business. So, a little bit more effective than I had originally given it credit for. I'm definitely saying I think I like this one better than Raging Inferno. It was more fun and more effective than I thought it would be, so, you know, give it a try. It's, like I said, I still recommend running it with a more critical hit-based build, but there's certainly nothing wrong running it with power or just with a pure fire build. I don't know, definitely a lot of fun, so check that one out, but that's going to be all for me today. So thank you guys very much for coming and spending some of your free time here with me today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've had a fantastic day or night wherever you may happen to be. And I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.